Hello everyone, welcome back to Code My Hobby. In this video we're going to be making this awesome Netflix landing page using HTML, CSS and JavaScript only. Now this is a really nice build which you can add to your portfolio. Now we'll click this watch button over here. The trailer of the movie actually appears. Now you can play this trailer. I'm just going to mute this. So play. You can also make this full screen. So let's close this, and also you'd notice the blur effect over here. So we did this using CSS backdrop filter, and this build is completely responsive. So let's inspect to see how responsive it is. So you can see over here it's fully responsive. So let's play the trailer. Okay, it still works. Let's reduce the screen size again. So when you play the trailer, works.
All over the world.
Just going to mute this. So close. Pause rather. Okay. So you notice this build is completely responsive, and it's really nice, which you can add to your portfolio. Now, I know I haven't been as active as usual, which is because I've been working on some personal projects which I'll fill you in on later. So if you're new to this channel, I produce daily videos based around programming with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So subscribe if that sounds interesting to you, and help me beat the YouTube algorithm by smashing the like button so we can reach out to more viewers and hopefully get them into programming. So if you do want to get in touch with me, the link to my Instagram account is going to be in the description below, so you can send DMs. I'll reply your DM. So the link to my Instagram page is down below in the description. And also, if you want to get my source code to most of my videos, most of my tutorials, the link is going to be in the description below, so you can follow me on GitHub and you can download my source code. So make sure you push the notification button so you can be notified when I release new videos, because now I'm working on some dope videos which are going to be intense and is going to take your portfolio to the next level. So make sure you don't miss out on that. So smash that notification bell right now. Give this video a big thumbs up. Comment your thoughts on what project you want me to build. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're in our VS Code right now, and the first thing we're going to do is to generate our boilerplate. So just type in exclamation mark and enter. Now I'm going to give this a title of Netflix landing page. Now before we get started, I want you all to download these files, which will be in the description below. So I want you to download the Font Awesome file, because we're going to be using the offline version of Font Awesome, and also the images we're going to be using for this project. Lastly, on the video we're going to be using for this project. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is to make a header tag. Inside this header tag, we're going to have an anchor tag, and we're going to give this a class of logo. We're going to give this an image, and this image is going to be from our images folder over here. So we're going to select logo PNG. So over here say logo. No, sorry. Over here, logo/logo.png. Now the next thing we're going to do is to generate our nav. So UL, and we're going to give this UL class of navigation. In this UL, we're going to have some lists. So say LI. I'm going to have anchor tags. So this is going to be home. I'm going to copy this and duplicate it. So this is going to be about. This will be TV shows. This would be text. And lastly, this would be my list. Now the next thing we're going to work on is our search bar. So we're going to say div, give this a class of search. We're going to have an input tag, and we're going to give it a placeholder. So we're going to say search. Also, we're going to have a tag here for the font also. So we're going to give this a class FAFA search. So before we jump right into our CSS, let's link them. So first thing we're going to do is link our style.css. Now we're going to link the font also. Now save this and let's check how it looks like on our browser. So you can see how it looks like. This is the Netflix logo, this is the search bar, and this is the navigation area. So now let's start this in our CSS. So go to our CSS and we're going to select all. We're going to give this margin of 0. Going to have a padding also of 0. I'm going to give this a box sizing of border box, and lastly font family sans serif. Now I'm going to select the body. I'm going to give this a background of black. Next thing we're going to grab is the header. I'm going to give this a position of absolute. Let's give this top 0, left 0 also. Give this a width of 100%. Let's give this a display flex. I'm going to justify the contents so there will be space between the navigation area. The next thing we're going to do is align the items to the center, and I'm going to give this a padding of 30 pixels top and bottom, 100 pixels left and right. The next thing we're going to do is give this a Z index of 10. Let's save this and check the browser. So you can see what we're having over here. Now we're going to select the logo. So header dot logo rng. So we're going to give this a max width of 150 pixels. Next thing we're going to grab is the navigation. So you could copy it from this place, copy. So navigation, we're going to give this a display flex. Let's grab the LI. So we're going to give this a list style of none to get rid of those dots, and I'm going to give this a margin of 0 top and bottom and 10 pixels left and right. Next thing we're going to grab is the anchor tag. So say navigation, an I and A. So we're going to give this a color white. We're going to give this a text decoration of none, font width of 500, and letter spacing of, let's say, 1 pixel. Save this and let's check. Okay. So now we're going to add hover effects. So navigation, LI, hover, the color should change to red. So let's say FDBO 611. So now we're going to grab the search div. So let's copy this, paste it over here. We're going to give this a position of relative, give this a width of 300 pixels, and we're going to give this a height of 40 pixels. So now we're going to grab the input tag. So search input, and we're going to give this position of absolute. I'm going to give this a top of 0, the left of 0 also, width of 100%, height 100%. Next thing, we're going to change the color to white. Going to add background. Going to make the background transparent. Going to add border. So 1px solid RGB. So I'm going for something like light gray. So the next thing we're going to do is remove the outline. So outline none. I'm going to give this a border radius of, let's say, 4 pixels. I'm going to give this a padding of 0 pixels, 10 pixels, 0 pixels, 45 pixels. And let's save this and check. Okay, so I think we should add like a blur effect on the search bar. So how do we do that? Go over here and add backdrop filter, and we're going to make this blur 10 pixels. So now we're going to grab the placeholder. So search, input, placeholder. I'm going to give this a color white. So let's check how this looks. Okay. So let's grab the icon. It's supposed to be dash on region. So let's copy this class. Save this go over here, and now we're going to say search. I'm going to paste the class we just copied, and we're going to give this a position of absolute. I'm going to add top of 50%. I'm going to give this a left of 10 pixels. Transform, translate Y. I'm going to make this minus 50%. The next thing we're going to do is add padding to the right. I'm going to make this 10 pixels. Now we're going to add a color white. Lastly, we're going to add border right, and we're going to make this 1 pixel solid white. So let's save and check our browser. Okay, so you can see the icon over here. So the next thing we're going to do is to create a banner, and we're going to style this banner. So let's go over here and comment this out, say banner. So we're going to create a div and give it a class of banner. Next thing is to add an image. I'm going to select img2, which would be the banner image. You can check it on the browser. So the next thing we're going to do is to make a div with a class of content, and in this content there's going to be an image also for the logo, the Mortal Kombat logo. So let's grab this image. So you can see the logo over here. Now, next thing we're going to do, right, page 4, we're going to have span. This is kind of the description of the movie. So 2020 was rated, should be rated 16, not sure. It's rated 16, let's just say 16 plus. Okay, duration should be 1 hour 55 minutes. And the theme should be action. It's an action based movie. Next thing is the description. We're just going to have dummy text over here. So the next thing we're going to work on is making some buttons. So div button. I'm going to have some anchor tags over here. And we're going to use our font awesome. So this is going to have a class of play. FA play. And over here I'm going to write play. I'm going to duplicate this. This would say my list. This would say FA plus. So okay, outside this content we're going to have a button. This is going to have a class of play, and in this button we're going to add our final image. Play.png, and this is going to say watch trailer. So let's save this and check our browser. Okay, so let's start this in our CSS. So we're going to grab the banner, we're going to give this a position of relative, we're going to give this a width of 100%. This is going to have a mean height of 100 pixels. I'm going to give this a padding of 0 top and bottom, 100 pixels left and right. Next, we're going to display this on flex. We're going to justify the content to flex start. Lastly, we're going to align items to the center. So let's save this and check. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is grab the banner. Okay, let me check something over here. Okay, so we're going to give this a class of bg. Save this. So go over here, bg. So we're going to give this a position of absolute. I'm going to give this a top of 0, left of 0 also. I'm going to give this a width of 100%, height also be 100%, and object fit cover. So okay, you can see the image has covered the whole web page. Okay, so now we want to grab the content. So we're going to give this a position of relative. I'm going to give this a Z index 1 and a max width of 550 pixels. So let's go to our HTML and give this image a class. Let's give it a class of movie title. So let's copy this. So go over here, content, movie title. So we're going to give this a max width of 350 pixels, margin bottom of 15 pixels. So let's save this and check our browser. Okay, so I'm noticing we have a bit of an error. Okay, so I think the error should be from okay, over here should be 100 viewport height. So let's save this and check now. Okay, the next thing we're going to grab is the h4. So banner and times h4. I'm going to give this a color of like a light gray. I'm going to give this a font width of 500. Next thing we're going to grab is a span. And we're going to give this a padding of 0 top and bottom and 10 pixels left and right. I'm going to give this a border right also, 1 pixel solid light gray. Okay. Last thing we're going to grab is the first element in the h4. So let's go over here, say banner, content, h4 span, first child. So we're going to give this a padding left, let's say 0. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the last child, I'm going to give this a border radius of none. Did I say border radius? No, I meant border right. Next thing is to grab, we're going to grab this width. Okay, yes, this. So banner, content, h4 span. So we're going to give this a background of like red. Next is to make the color white. We're going to give this a padding of 0 pixels and 8 pixels. I'm going to make this display inline block. I'm going to give this a font style of normal and border radius just by the edge, so we're going to give it 2 pixels. Save this and let's check what we did. Okay, so you can see over here we just added border radius around this background. So let's focus on the description. So say banner, content, p tag. So we're going to give this a font size of 1. Going to give this a font width of 300, line height of let's say 1.5 em, color should be white, and margin 10 pixels to 0 pixels and 20 pixels. save and check your browser. Okay, so let's make this 1 pm. Let's make it 1.5. 1.5 should be okay. Next thing we want to grab is the button, so let's copy this class. So say banner content and paste the button class. I'm going to give this a position of relative. Now I'm going to select the anchor tags in the banner, in the button class rather. I'm going to give this a position of relative. I'm going to make it inline block, so give it a display of inline block. I'm going to give this a margin right of 10 pixels. Next thing is to add a background color of red. We're going to give this a font color of white. We're going to add some padding of 6 pixels top and bottom, 20 pixels left and right. So we're going to add text decoration. I'm going to remove the text decoration rather. Next thing is to give this a font width of, let's say, 500, a letter spacing of 1 pixel, and I'm going to make this uppercase. So you can see, let's reduce this font, it's too big, this description font. So okay, let's say 1.2 should be enough. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to select the second element in the button class. So banner content buttons, grab the anchor tag, child. We're going to grab the second child. So we're going to give this a background of like black. So let's say RGBA. This should be 0, 0, 0, 0.5, and I'm going to give this a border. One pixel solid. We're going to go for the light gray. So now the next thing we're going to do is, okay, we're going to change the background color now, but you can save this to see what we've done. Now we're going to add hover effects, so copy this, then go over here, paste it. So when we hover on that button, we want the color to change. So set the background to red, so over the button changes to red. It's not working. Okay. Okay. Okay, now it's working. Let's add a transition. On 5 seconds. Okay. Now let's grab this play class, copy this. So, okay, paste the play class over here. I'm going to give this a position of absolute. I'm going to give this a bottom of 50 pixels, and left should be 100 pixels. I'm going to make this display inline flex rather. I'm going to justify contents to flex start, and we're going to align the items to the center. The next thing is to add font color, and let's add a background color to see what we have. So save this and check so you can see it. We're going to make this uppercase. The text inside should be uppercase. Text transform. So we're going to add a font width of, let's say, 800. I'm going to remove the text decoration. So text decoration none. I'm going to add letter spacing and add font size, should be 1.2 em, and cursor should be pointer. So save this. Okay, so let's get rid of the background color. So comment this out. Okay, now we're going to style the image. So say play img. I'm going to give this a margin right of 10 pixels and max width of 50 pixels. Okay, so now we're going to add the video to this page. So when we click on watch trailer, the video appears like a box over here in the center. Then you can watch the trailer of the movie. So we're going to do that using JavaScript. So let's get right into it. So go back to your index.html. So let's go over here, and okay, let's just comment this out. Say trailer. I'm going to make a div with the class of trailer, and we're going to import a video. So the name of the video is MK. Yes, MK. Now the controls. So I'm going to enable the controls. Also, do you want it to auto play? We can leave it as true, but I'm going to use false because it's going to disturb the video. Also, we're going to add a close button, so when you're watching the video and you decide to close the video, there will be an X button for you to close the video. So let's grab this X button. So images, close the PNG, and I'm going to give this a class of close. So let's style this quickly. So go over here and say trailer. I'm going to give this a fixed position. I'm going to give this a top of 50%. Let's give this left also 50%. Transform, translate 50% minus 50%. So we're going to add Z index of 100,000. We're going to give this a width of 100%. I'm going to make this display flex. We're going to justify contents to the center, align the items to the center also, and we're going to add a backdrop filter. Okay, let's add the backdrop filter. I'm going to make this blur 20 pixels. Now we're going to make this visible, but we're going to change this later, and the opacity should be 1, but this will be changing later. So let's save this and see what we have. So the movie is already here, and you can see the close button, which is over here. So now the next thing we're going to do is to style the video. Trailer, video. I'm going to give this a max width of 900 pixels and an outline of none. So save this and check. Okay, now we're going to move this close button up a bit. So go over here, copy this class, we're going to give this a position of absolute. I'm going to give this a top of 30 pixels. Right also should be 30 pixels, and we're going to make this have a pointer effect. I'm going to give this a filter, invert 1, and a max width of 32 pixels. Save. Okay, so now we're going to make this hidden, so it only appears when we click the word trailer action. So this is going to be hidden. And this opacity will be 0. Go back to your index.html I'm going to make a script tag. I'm going to make a function. I'm going to give this function name of toggle video. I'm going to create a constant called trailer. And we're going to get this class. So say document dot query selector. I'm going to select this trailer class, so copy this and paste it over here, and we're going to make this trailer. What we're doing now is that when you click watch trailer, the video appears. So that's what we're going to do with JavaScript. So class list dot toggle active. So this class becomes active when you click it. So let's save this and add an onclick function here. So on click, let's copy this and paste it over here. Also, we're going to paste it in the play button. So over here, say on click and paste it. Save. So now we're going to make this class active. We're going to add it to our CSS. So copy this and go over to CSS. So I'll say trailer dot active. So we want the video to be visible when we select the trailer. So say visibility, visible, and the opacity should be 1. So let's save this and check our browser fresh, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so you can see it's working perfectly. You can play the video. I'm going to reduce the volume a bit so you can play the video, and you can see the video works perfectly.
The target has superhuman abilities.
So close it,
It had the same marking.
closes, select it again to watch the trailer.
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole.
The trailer plays.
It means you've been chosen.
So now we're going to make this
all over the world.
landing page responsive with media
Reference
query.
every tournament
So let's go back to our CSS,
of champions.
scroll down a bit.
That dragon marking.
So go add
As Mortal Kombat.
Swift
These are your champions.
9.91%.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
We're going to select the header. So padding of 20 pixels top and bottom, 50 pixels left and right. So I'm going to say flex, direction, should be color.
You put in the ground.
And let's inspect it to see what we're doing. Okay. So next thing I'm going to select is the navigation. I'm going to display flex, justify the contents to the center, flex wrap, and we're going to add margin 10 pixels top and bottom, 0 pixels left and right. Okay, so you can see how it looks. So the next thing I'm going to select is the banner. I'm going to add padding 100 pixels top and bottom and 50 pixels left and right. Also, we're going to select the play class, so banner. I'm going to give this a left of 50 pixels and a font size of 1 EM. Okay. So now we're going to select the play image, so play img. I'm going to give this a margin right of margin right of 10 pixels and a max width of 40 pixels. Next, we're going to select the video, so trailer video. I'm going to give this a max width of 90%. Okay. So just reload your browser and okay. So we can see it's responsive now. Okay, when we reduce the screen even more, you can see the banner, the image in the banner, it's kind of shrinking. So let's fix that with media query. So go back to your CSS and go over here. So here at media, max width of 600 pixels. I'm going to select the header. I'm going to give this a padding of 20 pixels. Next, we're going to select the search. I'm going to give this a position of relative. Also, we're going to calculate the width. So width calc 100%, 20 pixels. Next thing we're going to do is add height of 40 pixels. Now I'm going to select the banner. I'm going to add padding to the banner, so say padding total 0 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. Let's save this and see how it looks. So let's resize. Okay. Let's say banner dot play, and we're going to move this to the left. So left 20 pixels. Give this a font size of 1 EM and the bottom of 30 pixels. So now we can see it's fully responsive, and when we click the watch button over here, you can see it's still working perfectly. click play, and you can see the video is playing over here. Now the next thing we're going to do is to reduce the close button. I'm going to reduce the size of the close button, so let's go back to our CSS. So let's scroll up a bit. Now go over here and say close. I'm going to give this max width of 20 pixels and a top of 0. Save this. So you can see this is way better. Now the next thing we're going to do is to work on our icons. Since the Font Awesome is not working for us, we're going to grab the online version of Font Awesome. So we'll create a new tab and say CDNJS. Open this link. Now we're going to search for Font Awesome. So we're going to copy this link tag over here and go back to our CSS, go to our HTML. So you can just comment this out and paste the link over here. Save this and okay, closed. Now you can see the icons are working perfectly.
First learned about this 7 years ago.
Mute this. So you can see the icons are working perfectly and the site is fully responsive. Now you can host this if you want to host this. The link to how to host a site completely for free is going to be in the description below. So you can host this by yourself completely for free. This is a really awesome build. I hope you had fun. If you did have fun, make sure you smash the like button and comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and if you'd like me to build more projects like this, let me know in the comment section. So the source code is going to be in the description below. The source code is going to be in my GitHub repository, so follow me on GitHub to get my source code. And yeah, so smash the like button, comment down below, grab the source code for my GitHub repository, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and goodbye.